The war within is right around the corner, and there are a few things you definitely want to do if you want your launch day to go as smooth as possible. So in this video, I'll be giving you guys my best tips on what to do right now, so that way you guys can get a head start before the rest of the crowd. So I want to begin by giving you guys a quick spoiler alert. So there are going to be some of these things that people might find kind of corny, or you might hear it and just think to yourself like, well, duh. But I found often it's better to state the obvious than to not mention it at all, because some people do overlook these things. And at the end of the day, this video is meant to entertain you guys, so kick back, relax, and let's get into it. So the first thing I want you guys to do is to clean out your bags. This means gather up all the items that you guys don't need, you know, consumables, crafting materials, stuff like that. Just put it all in the auction house, and make sure that you guys do it on all of your alts as well. Not only is this going to clean out your bags and give you a ton of space to get a bunch more items in this next expansion, but it's also going to give you a pretty good chunk of gold too. I do this every expansion, and I usually net myself about 25 to 80k gold just by selling all this stuff, so yeah, it's definitely something that you guys should do. Now that you have your bags cleaned out, it's time to stock up and buy a couple of items. This means buying some food, flasks, pots, anything you guys can think of that's going to help you with leveling. Now just make sure that you don't buy a bunch of items here, because again, once you get to max level, this stuff's going to be useless. I usually only buy like 10 flasks, a stack of 20 food, maybe 20 potions. You don't have to buy a bunch of stuff here. This is just intended to get you through leveling. This next one might feel like a really minor detail, but I still like to do it, and that is to enchant all of your gear with as much speed as possible. Now, the 3 enchants that I can think of off the top of my head, if there's more, please let me know in the comments section, but that is the Enchant Cloak, Homebound Speed, Enchant Bracer, Devotion of Speed, and Enchant Boots, Planesrunner's Breeze. Now, with these 3 enchants, plus I also have a item that does have plus speed on it, I'm up to 17% movement speed, so that's pretty huge. This can definitely go a long way, especially while you guys are leveling and you've got tons of like caves or indoor things where you're exploring and doing the quests, so definitely don't sleep on speed enchants. The only caveat to this one is, I think if you guys are a fresh level 70 going into this expansion and you've got, you know, 460 gear or something like that, you're probably going to be replacing your gear pretty quickly, so it might not be worth it to enchant your gear. I'm at 502 item level, so I'm probably going to be holding on to my gear for a while, so just keep that in mind. Now this next tip is going to be probably a little bit easier said than done for certain people, but that is to clean out your quest log. I always like to have no quests at all at the start of an expansion. That way my quest log is just way more organized, and I can focus on things that are more relevant to the expansion and, you know, not get sidetracked or confused by quests, you know, taking me somewhere else. This next tip is something that I feel like is going to save a ton of people, especially at the, you know, initial early stages of the expansion launch, and that is going to be turning off all of your add-ons. The reason why we want to have our add-ons turned off at the start of an expansion is because usually whenever that first quest unlocks, or they, you know, release the floodgates, so to speak, usually there's going to be a ton of lag and just a bunch of instability issues, and usually add-ons can cause problems. So I always turn off all of my add-ons because, you know, just having them turned off is going to make your game load a lot faster, and it's going to reduce the amount of potential crashes or bugs that you may encounter. Another really good tip that I definitely think you guys should do is to also turn all of your graphics settings down to low. This, just like the add-on one, is going to help with loading the game quicker and also just reducing those bugs and any kind of problems that you guys may encounter at the start of an expansion. So now that we've got the in-game tips all squared away, let's talk about some stuff that you could do outside the game that could help out with your War Within launch experience. And the first one is going to be obviously taking some time off of work. Now this can be either scheduling some time off work with vacation days, or if you just don't care, just calling in sick. Now as far as scheduling vacation days, it might be a little bit too late to do that one because of just how close we are to the expansion, at least for the launch of the expansion. But if you're someone that really wants to just push endgame content, then I would highly recommend trying to get some time off of work, especially when Season 1 starts and or when Mythic Plus opens up. That way you've got plenty of time to no-life the game when it actually matters, when all of the endgame content is unlocked and you guys can just push yourselves to get that super high item level. This one might be something that some of you probably need to hear, and that is to clean your room/house. A clean and organized space profoundly impacts our mental health and our emotional well-being. Well, unless you want to live like Asmongold.
There's a roach flying at me. Give me a minute.
Where'd he go?
Oh, shit. He's on my belly. Look at him. He's right there. He got, oh, God. Get him out of me. What are you doing, bro? Good.
But no, seriously, it's a really good idea to just do like a super deep clean before the game comes out. That way you guys can spend way more time playing the game and no-lifing it, instead of having to, you know, keep up on your house. And for you married folk out there, I'm sure your significant other will feel a little bit less annoyed at you for taking a bunch of time playing video games if you clean the house and make it look really nice. I think every expansion launch prep/guide video can't be a true guide video without the mention of making sure you're stocking up on tons of Doritos and Mountain Dew. I mean, after all, those are the two key pillars of any gamer's balanced daily diet, right? But no, seriously, make sure that you guys got plenty of food and drinks to help yourselves go a long way. I personally love slamming Monster energy drinks like a Chad, but that's just me. I saved the best one for last because this one is probably the most important, albeit the most basic bitch answer, and that is going to be get plenty of sleep. Make sure the day before you guys get a full day's rest and or take a nap, you know, before the expansion comes out. The last thing you guys want to do is get, you know, 3-4 hours into leveling on the new expansion and then get really tired and want to go to bed. The next thing I want to talk about is that if you guys have gotten this far in the video, I really appreciate it. And if you haven't already, why don't you hit that subscribe button and join the community? I upload videos weekly and I'm always putting out content on World of Warcraft and also other RPG-like games like Baldur's Gate 3, Elden Ring, that sort of thing. So odds are you guys will probably enjoy something that I've put out. Anyways, that's gonna do it for this video. I really appreciate you guys. Thanks so much for watching. I'm still Solo and I'll see you guys in the next one.